guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be teaching you if, elif, and else statements in Python. So we're going to be using conditions in this video, which means we're going to be using operators. So if you haven't watched my operators video, you have to go back and watch it before you continue this video. So if you haven't watched it, I'll just leave a card to my operators video, and you can just click on the card and go watch it, and then come right back. So now let's get started. If, elif, and else statements in Python. The first section of this video is if statements. If statements are used to run a code block if a certain condition is true. If the condition appears to be true, Python executes the code block. Let's print hello if a variable named a is equal to 1. So in our main.py file here, a should be set to 1, and if a equals 1, we're indenting our code here to form a code block, and then print hello. So if you indent some code, it means you're forming a code block. So this print statement here is inside the code block. And if I want to add another line, I can just indent my code again and then say print 8 plus 9 or something like that. And then when I come over here and type some code here, now this code is outside the code block because it's not indented. So you can indent code with either 1 tab or 4 spaces per indent. So I've indented my code with 1 tab. So now if we run python3 main.py, Python's going to do some calculations again. So remember the double equals operator? You probably do if you watched my operators video. Since in the above program, a is set to 1, you know that a equals 1, this condition will return true. The if statement runs the indented code, in this case print hello, which is a code block, if the condition returns true. So this will output hello because the variable a is set to 1. But instead, if we set this variable to 2, we would get nothing as the output because Python would just check if a is equal to 1. This would return false, so this whole if statement, including this code block, will just get avoided, and then this comment will get avoided, and then Python will eventually reach the end of the file. So this is how if statements work. Else statements. Else statements are used to run a code block if the condition provided in the if block is false. If the condition appears to be false, Python executes the else block. Let's print hello if a variable named a is not equal to 1. So in our main.py file here, a is set to 1, and then we're checking if a is set to 2, and then we're checking if a is equal to 1. So if a is equal to 1, this pass keyword actually means do nothing. So if you didn't put anything here, you would get a syntax error, an error called a syntax error, which means there's something wrong with the format or the syntax of the code, because Python actually expects something to be here, expects at least 1 line of code in a code block. So you're just going to say pass, which is a line of code that does nothing. So else, if a is not equal to 1, we're going to print hello. So a better way of saying this is if a not equal to 1. If a is not equal to 1, print hello. This is a better way, but since we're looking at else statements here, this is the code we're going to use. So when we run the program, Python is going to do some calculations again. Here, the equals operator will return false because a is set to 2. So the else block will get executed. This will output hello because the variable a is set to 2. But if the variable a was set to 1, then this would output nothing because we're just passing here, which means we're not doing anything. So we wouldn't get any output. This is how else statements work. Elif statements. Imagine you have an if-else statement in your code, but you don't want Python to go straight to the else block if your if condition returns false. Instead, you want to check for an other or multiple other conditions before you move on to the else block. To achieve this, you can add an elif block in between your if and else blocks. Let's print hello if a variable named a is equal to 1. Else, if it is equal to 2, let's print hello world. If it's equal to neither of them, let's print bye-bye world. So, in our main.py file, we have a equals 2, then we're checking if a is equal to 1. If a is equal to 1, we're printing hello. Elif, or else if a is equal to 2, we're printing hello world. So if this condition returns false, this if statement won't get executed. And then Python is going to check if a is equal to 2 because we added an elif block here. So here we're going to print hello world if a is equal to 2. Else, if a is equal to neither of them, we're going to print bye-bye world. So this is just another way of saying if a equals 1, print hello, else if a equals 2, print hello world, else print bye-bye world. So this is the same as this code, but this is an easier way. So now when we run our program, the equals operator will return false because a is set to 2 in the if block. So Python will move on to the elif block. The elif block will get executed because a is set to 2, and in the elif block we're checking if a is equal to 2. So this will output hello world because the variable a is set to 2. Instead, if we set a to 1, we're going to get hello for the output. This is how you use elif statements. If you want to practice if, elif, and else statements at home, the link to the document featured in this video is in the description. You can just go open the link, download the file, open the file up with a browser, and practice if, elif, and else statements. Okay guys, that was it for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below if you have any questions or comments. Also, be sure to watch my next video, and thanks for watching.